Jessica DeMarzo, a sophomore here at SUNY Purchase, was presented with the opportunity that she's been waiting for. That opportunity being the PSGA's new Coordinator of Public Affairs.
I'm Jessica DeMarzo. I'm a Media Society and the Arts major, and I'm going to be minoring in arts. My freshman year, I got involved with the PSGA, trying to start a club. It ended up being a service by the end of the process, but it was great because I got to know the PSGA very well going through that process, because you kind of go and see every single executive, you kind of like get a feel for where your club or service kind of lays in the PSGA. So that really set like a really nice groundwork for me. And then my sophomore year, I became a senator for liberal arts and sciences, and I did a lot of work with John Fallot as part of the PR committee. I actually shadowed him for a little bit, and he kind of like showed me the ropes with the job because he knew I was interested in the position.
DeMarzo stepped into the position after Natalie Lavalette had stepped down in mid-October. DeMarzo had run for the COPA position at the end of last semester.
The end of last year, I ran for the position and I lost in the election, which was obviously a bummer because I really thought that I was like a really great fit for the position. Yeah. So when the previous COPA this year resigned, I was still interested.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the Senate knew that because when it came up at Senate a week ago, everybody kind of unanimously kind of asked if I would be interested in doing it. And that was great. I really appreciate all the support from everybody. It's so great. Everyone's amazing. So like going into the position, it was super exciting for me, but also a little scary because picking up halfway through is, it's kind of hard because you don't really know where things are when you go in, so you kind of have to be cautious and like kind of just gather all the information first and kind of assess. Unfortunately, I didn't really get that time.
Yeah,
because
definitely. You've had like a week.
Yeah, because the day I was appointed, I like started right away. So, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It's a really great position, and I think I'm a really great fit for it. So
because having an executive title and coming into this position midterm, are you having any difficulties kind of balancing your schoolwork and your friends and your like typical college things with this executive position?
I have to say this first week has been a little tough time-wise just because I wasn't exactly expecting on getting a job like at Senate on Wednesday, so it was kind of a surprise being like, hey, throwing all this stuff at you. I think I've taken it well. I have to say I have been compromising with time. Definitely, but also I think it's just a lot of the workload is just kind of catching up. So once that happens, the next few weeks I'm settled, it won't be any sort of issue.
When you first came to Purchase, did you think that you'd be involved with the government?
Honestly, not at all. I wasn't very involved in high school. In my student government, it was very different in high school. My student government wasn't very involved. It was more of just who gets to plan prom and who gets to like pick out the t-shirt design
like the
for
typical
the year.
High school.
Yeah. So it wasn't that interesting to me. I kind of spent my time other places, doing other hobbies and different clubs and things, being involved in different ways. So when I came here, I was expecting to do some very similar things, kind of join clubs, be involved in that kind of way instead of in the student government. But then, like I said, going through the club process, I really got to know everybody. I got to know how this place is structured and how many opportunities we really have as students here with a student government as organized as ours. And it's something that I believe students don't take advantage of.
As far as this, I mean, in the PSGA in a way, it's our own little government system. Like it's the Senate and it's the executive system, it's the judicial board, all of that mirrors a lot of our own democracy in the U.S. Would that ever be something that you'd want to get into, is like actual like politics?
I mean, government? It's something that now I'm definitely interested in. I wasn't a very political person before I got to college, and for that I'm really thankful that I've grown in that way, because I think it makes me a more well-rounded person. As for like getting into a job in the future for that, I mean, it's a possibility if I find the right one, but right now that's not really a plan that I have. If it happens, I guess I'll roll with it.
As far as any plans for the future, like big goals? Do you have any of those yet, or just smaller goals?
Yeah. Like I said, I was running for this position last year, so I really wanted, like, I have been formulating ideas for like a while now. So coming into this, I'm not like clueless about what I want to do. Yeah. This year, I really want to focus on PR committee. First of all, being very active, because in the past it's been more of like brainstorming sessions, and then the coordinator of public affairs would kind of just execute everything themselves. I want it to be more collaborative this year. I want the PR committee to be the main faces of the PSGA. I want them very involved. I want them at the events. I want them putting up posters, talking to people. My other big goal would be just to have the students know the PSGA better. Yeah. Know our faces, know who to talk to for what, know where to get information, because that's the most important thing right now, because we have so many resources that students can use to change this campus for the better, and that's just what I want to help them do. I want to make everyone's time here as enjoyable and carefree as possible.
Be on the lookout for what DeMarzo does next in her new position. I'm Wendy Fayola.